If you want to be a great product designer, you need to move away from pushing pixels all day. I'm going to let you in on a secret. To progress in your product or UX design career, you're going to need to take a step back from the screen and widen your focus of the product and the business as a whole. In this video, we're going to look at some techniques that will allow you to do this. And along the way, I'm going to share some insights into what I found works best when leveling up in your design career. Before we get into the detail, let me just tell you the most important thing to keep in mind throughout this entire process. Maturing as a designer means thinking more about the problems that you're solving and not just about the solutions that you're implementing. This requires us to broaden our ways of thinking and really understand the people that we're designing for, their goals, their motivations, as well as how design can contribute towards success for the entire organization. So as well as regularly conducting things like usability testing and research, you should start to see more progression when collaborating across different departments within your company and demonstrating the value that design can have on a broader scale. When it comes to widening your focus as a designer, there are two main ways of thinking that we're going to look at. The first is critical thinking. Every day we're presented with information that we take as fact, without even stopping to question it. If we continue to do that with our design work, over time, we'd lose out on arriving at the best possible solution for our users. The key to many great design decisions is being critical about what we assume to be true. You may have heard of the 5 whys, a very simple technique brought to us by a Japanese inventor in the industrial space. What may at first seem like a childlike exercise of always asking why, can actually get us to the root cause and eliminate wasted time and effort solving the wrong problem. We should practice this technique with every design decision we make, no matter how small. The more we adopt this critical thinking, the more natural it will become in our day-to-day tasks. The second way of thinking is holistic thinking. Thinking holistically means looking at the whole picture instead of the individual parts within. This type of mindset is also referred to as systems thinking. In the context of product design, this typically means thinking about the complete user journey and how all the various touch points work together. Even if you are only responsible for a small part of that journey, being mindful of the entire process your audience follows can help you make smarter decisions. A great way to help you start thinking holistically about your design contributions is through cross-team collaboration. Many people have talked about design having a seat at the table. Ultimately, what they mean by this is having the rest of the company take design as seriously as the other departments. This is an entire area in itself, and one for another video. But one of the ways we can achieve this is to progress our design team's maturity within the business. Now, in my experience, a key factor in having a mature design function is having a presence well outside of the design team itself, getting others across the organization on board with the value and impact that design can have. Cross-team collaboration is the way to start this. This can come in many forms, but as an individual product designer, I would suggest by starting to note down other individuals in various different departments across your company and making a conscious effort to speak with them regularly. Ask them about their challenges, find out how they measure success, and build up an understanding of where they would benefit from your help. Now isn't the time to tell them about all the great things that you can do. We first need to understand their goals and problems before offering up any solutions. Think of this as an internal user research exercise. Over time, you will build new relationships with this method, and when you have enough information to go off, you can start to promote the great work that you and the design team are doing, the positive impact you have for your users, and how you can share more insights and design resource internally that might give benefit to others. Given enough time, the relationship should build up that internal credibility for the designers within your company, with you as the key individual in the minds of others. Now let me tell you a story. Back in 2018, I was working in a company as a senior UX designer. We were planning for a round of user research and opted for an in-person client discovery workshop to dig deeper into the problem space that we were tackling. I'd previously set a goal of getting closer to the internal commercial team and invited a few members along for the day. I took the lead on running the workshop and introduced an affinity mapping session straight after lunch as a way to ease everyone back into the afternoon session and get the ideas flowing. At the end of the day, our head of sales at the time, who was involved in the workshop, came to me and said he'd never seen this client engage so much in a meeting before. And the results we'd walked away from that afternoon were enough to inform the sales strategy going forward. Not only that, but we lined up similar sessions with senior client stakeholders in the months that followed. From then on, I'd be invited to sales catch-ups, have more exposure to prospects we were speaking with, and most importantly, I'd built up a strong relationship with the commercial team. With that said, I experienced firsthand the benefits that can come from demonstrating the value of design outside of pushing pixels. The lesson here is to break out of your comfort zone and look at different ways you can shape the perception of design across your company in a positive way. So what about the tech that your product uses? Let's get the elephant out of the room. I'm not suggesting that designers need to know how to code, although if you do, that's awesome. That being said, having a grasp on how the things you design are actually built is only going to be a positive when working with your engineers. Take some time to understand the CSS box model, how HTML is structured, and begin to use terminology that reflects the implementation. Trust me, even knowing the difference between paddings and margins is going to impress your developers. The biggest piece of advice here is to be the one making the effort. Speak the language of your engineers and don't expect them to change the way they speak for your benefit. If they do, then that's a bonus. But be the change you want to see in the world and in your product team. So my suggestion for you is to go and take action. Get out of your comfort zone. Take one of these techniques, use it today, and widen your focus when it comes to design. If you do this, you'll learn and grow no matter the outcome. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.